This evening I am working on an Adler Junior 12 from, I believe, the mid-90s, and the cool thing about the Adler Junior 12 is it has the automatic spacer which does this magical stuff right here. You can't put a price on that. Anyway, the problem is that the alignment is all out of whack. Check this out. Don't ask why the red and black are up that way. Anyway, that's the lowercase h, uppercase H, and I'll do it in the middle for good measure. Lowercase k, uppercase K, and I'll use the automatic spacer, save time. Time being money. And I'll try the lowercase m and the uppercase M. And we have much the same problem. Why doesn't this machine focus? So what I want to do is, because the uppercases are pretty clear and the lower cases, which are up too high, are not as clear, that tells me I need to bring down the uppercases. And because this is a basket shift, I do that by altering how far down or up the basket goes rather than how far up or down the carriage goes. And what I have to do for this Adler Junior 12 is adjust this screw here, which I'm trying to zero in on. It's the one on the extremity there. Now there's a lock nut there and what looks like a grub screw in the middle, and I need to bring that down or up. The same as on the other side. It's the one on the outside. That's a better view of it there. So that one closest to us, I need to bring that screw up because that controls where the lowercase is. If you look underneath, you can't see it from this angle, but that, when it brings back the basket to rest, that'll be the level of the lowercase. It needs to not go up as far as it goes because it's going up too far and therefore bringing the lower cases up too far. So therefore I need to wind that screw in and bring up the head of the screw, and I'll try to get a view of it from underneath. That is the screw there. That is the one that needs to be wound in, and that corresponds to those lock nuts and screws that I was showing you before. You should be able to see where, yeah, see, that's bringing the basket down, that's bringing it back up, down, up. So it needs to be wound in so it doesn't go up so far. You can use pliers of some description, but lucky for me, I have just the right size. Take two. Ah, perfect. So I can loosen that up, tighten it around a few times and check the levels, then tighten it back up. And now, with a few adjustments, that bottom line is where we are now, and some letters are slightly higher than others, but that won't drive me too mad. probably hard to see in this light, but it is caked in mud and dust. Has some kind of rust stains in here. All manner of cobwebs. But all I really care about is, does the automatic spacer work? A little bit too well. So after putting on another ribbon the right way up this time, and putting on the side panels, which includes the bottom frame, and test typing, it has become clear to me that I have made a terrible error. Because when I was pressing down on the caps lock before, when the case was off, it must have been obstructed in some way, so that the caps lock didn't bring the basket all the way down. But now, for some reason, it is doing that. But this is a good excuse to demonstrate the other alignment we can do, which is simply enough to do exactly what we did before, but on these internal lock nuts and screws rather than the external ones which we used before, which control how high the basket goes, how high the basket goes, which controls the lower case. And in there, just in front of where the light is, you should be able to see the stop. That's this here. That's the stop. This is the one we were working on before, but this here is the stop for the screw that comes down for the low movement of the basket. And you probably can't see it in this light, but there's some built up grease there which I'm going to have to get rid of. I wonder if it's on the other side too. Yep, it's on the other side too. And now to repeat that exact same process again, I have taken this spanner, the tiny spanner, to that lock nut and loosened that up. And now I am just going by trial and error to give this a couple of turns to the left. No, to the right, because I want to tighten the screw. I want to send the screw down further so that it meets the obstruction earlier, so that the basket doesn't go down as far as it's been going, because the capitals shouldn't be going down that far, as you can see. So I'll start with one rotation. Sorry about the focus. There are so many things in a typewriter, so many points of focus, that the camera gets overwhelmed. Anyway, I've done that clockwise once, and I'll do the same to the other side. And then I went to all that hard work and only to find this problem here after I got rid of the grease. So the grease was forming that much of an obstruction, so I'm going to have to readjust it now with the grease gone. And I've done that, but now we are back to our original problem, which is that the top of the the uppercase letters is weak, which tells me we need to bring everything down. and bring everything down we shall. And it's an improvement. Now we are getting somewhere. I think it can be stated safely as a general rule that on the Adler Junior 12, if you want to make the letters go lower, if you want, you turn these screws anti-clockwise, and logically enough, if you want to make them go higher, then you turn them clockwise. Sometimes I just imagine myself becoming really small and living inside the innards, the machinery of a typewriter, and forgetting all about the obligations of the outside world. I know I don't do any of that.